The HOA built a $65,000 guest house on my land, then they sued me for tearing it down. I'm David Taylor, 52, a semi-retired engineer living in Lakeside, Minnesota. I bought my property back in 1987, 1.2 acres backing straight onto the water. The neighborhood didn't have an HOA back then, but that came later when they formed it in 2003, and I opted out since my deed predates their authority. They knew that, but Diane Anderson, the HOA president, had other plans. In March 2023, I got a courtesy notice saying the board voted to build a community guest house on lakefront common property. I checked my survey and realized that common property was actually my backyard. I sent 3 emails and called Anderson 2 times, but she claimed their records showed it differently. I pulled my certified survey from 2021 and sent it registered mail, but got no response. 16 months later, there's an 850 square feet house on my lawn with 2 bedrooms, a full bath, and a deck facing the water. I walked the property line with my survey in hand, and every corner matched perfectly. The guest house sat 12 feet inside my boundary. I contacted my attorney, who reviewed the deed, the survey, and all the HOA correspondence before giving me simple advice. It's your land. Do what you want. I hired a demolition crew and gave Anderson 72 hours notice via email and certified letter. She called it vandalism and threatened legal action, so I forwarded her my attorney's letter, which she ignored. 3 days later, the crew showed up at dawn, and by noon the guest house was gone, foundation filled, grass seed down. Anderson filed suit that week claiming $65,000 in damages. So my attorney filed a countersuit for trespassing, unauthorized construction, and unjust enrichment. Then the real story broke when a contractor leaked HOA meeting minutes to me. Turns out the guest house wasn't for guests at all. Anderson and Kyle Johnson, the property manager, had been using it as their private weekend retreat. Bank records showed they'd billed the HOA $65,000, and only 7 people knew the door code, none of them regular homeowners. I sent the minutes to every HOA member and posted them on the community Facebook group. Local news picked it up immediately. Anderson tried to spin it as temporary housing for board meetings, but the photos I'd taken showed wine bottles, personal luggage, and vacation books. Within 2 weeks, Anderson resigned and Johnson was fired. The HOA dropped their lawsuit, but my attorney pushed harder since they owed me for 16 months of unauthorized use of my property. We settled last month with the HOA paying me $1,800 monthly rent for 3 years, plus $28,800 retroactive, totaling $93,600. The contract includes a penalty clause where 1 late payment doubles the rent, and 2 late payments let me file a lien against HOA funds. They've paid on time so far. Comment if your HOA ever pulled something like this.